Section 8 is titled Writing Equations. We're going to use everything that we've learned now over the past several units to take sentences and translate them into equations to solve. So still in standard 7.af.2, and we're down here at the bottom, representing and solving real-world problems using equations. So when you translate a sentence into an equation, there are several steps you need to take, so please write these down. First, we're going to identify the variable. Then we are going to locate the equal sign. We will identify the operations and then write the equation out. Also remember that with the words more than and less than, we will need to be switching the order of what we are adding or subtracting. So translate the sentences into equations. I'm not asking you to solve here, but make sure you're reading the directions in your homework because sometimes you are asked to solve the equation. Number 1 says 4 more than 3 times a number is negative 26. So first I'm going to go through and just highlight the numbers. So we have the number 4, we're talking about 3, and we also have negative 26. Then I like to try to find the variable. I'm going to box in that variable, and anytime you see the words a number, there's your variable. So I'm going to call it x. You can call it whatever you want. Then we have our operations. More than, that's addition. Times, that's multiplication. And the word is our equal sign. So it looks like 4 plus 3x, or 3 times x, equals negative 26. But remember from the previous slide, when you see the word more than, you need to switch the order of the 4 and the 3x. So instead of saying 4 plus 3x, we say 3x plus 4 equals negative 26. Number 2, we have 2 more than 4 times a number is 18. So again, I'm going to underline our numbers. There's 2, 4, and 18. I see the word a number again, or the words a number, so that's x. Then we have more than is addition, times is multiplication, is our equal sign. So again, 2 plus 4x equals 18, but we want to switch the 2 and the 4x. So instead of saying 2 plus 4x, it's 4x plus 2 equals 18. Number 3, 8 more than the quotient of a number and negative 3 is negative 24. So we have the numbers 8, negative 3, and negative 24. I see the words a number, that's x. We have more than as addition, we have quotient, which means division, and we have is for our equal sign. So this says 8 more than the quotient. That means that we're adding 8 to a division problem. So the question here is, what are we dividing? So if we highlight, I'll use my highlighter so we can see this a little better. The quotient of a number and negative 3. When you think about how you would write that, quotient is division, so it would be x over negative 3. So 8 plus x over negative 3. Remember, it's more than those, so we have to flip the order of those two. So instead of 8 plus x over negative 3, we're going to say x divided by negative 3 plus 8 equals negative 24. Number 4 says the product of a number and 7 is equal to 42. So we have 7 and 42. I see a number, so there's x. Product means multiplication. Is equal to, or is, there's your equal sign. So we're multiplying x and 7. And so think about how we normally see that. We don't usually write x times 7. We usually say 7x equals 42. And let me go through and kind of circle these equations here so it makes sense where they are. Now we're going to translate the sentences into equations, but we're also asked a question here. So Zack has 6 shirts. This is 4 less than twice the number of shirts N that Jimmy has. So how many shirts does Jimmy have? So Jimmy, we don't know. We do not know how many shirts Jimmy has. So we're going to use the variable N to describe how many shirts he has. He has 4 less than twice the number. So when you write the words 4 less than twice the number, that would be 4 minus 2 times a number x. But again, less than means we have to flip-flop the order. So instead of saying 4 minus 2x, we're going to say 2x minus 4. And we know that that's equal to the number of shirts that Zack has, which is 6. Oh, whoops, we're using the letter N here, sorry. If you're given a variable to use, you should use that variable. Now we want to solve to find out how many shirts Jimmy has. So we're going to add 4 to both sides. 2n equals 10. Divide both sides by 2, and you get n equals 5. So Jimmy has 5 shirts. Jeremy has 13 baseball cards. That's 7 more than 3 times the number M that Michael has. So 7 more than 3 times the number that Michael has. That needs to be equal to 13 because that's how many Jeremy has. But again, more than means we need to switch the order. So 3M plus 7 equals 13. We're going to subtract 7 from both sides. 3m equals 6. Divide both sides by 3. And we get m equals 2. So Michael has 2 baseball cards. Number 7, Juan's father was 29 years old when Juan was born. This year, the sum of their ages is 53. So find their ages. So what this tells us is that Juan and his father are 29 years apart. We know that the sum, so we'll do father plus Juan should equal 53 this year. So if we don't know Juan's age, we're going to call that x. We know that his father is x plus 29 because he's 29 years older than Juan, and that should equal 53. So we have x plus 29, that's the dad's age, plus x equals 53. Here we have two x's that we need to put together. So 2x plus 29 equals 53. Subtract 29 from both sides. And you get 2x equals 24. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 12. So Juan is 12. His father, we have to do 12 plus 29. 12 plus 29 is 41. So because we knew a little bit about his father's age, we knew nothing about Juan's age. That's why Juan got the variable x. In class, we'll work on worksheet 4.8.